We talked a lot about prescriptive grammar, but prescriptive grammar poses certain problems which are unsolved. Although everyone knows or thinks they know what a word is, what a sentence is, both terms defy exact definition. Obviously, you have known in morphology that the concept of verb in morphology or modern linguistics is different from the way general public or generally people or the word is thought in uh, prescriptive background. Similarly, when you take sentence, the concept of sentence is different. The way it is generally thought in prescriptive tradition. The sentence as a linguistic concept has been defined in over 200 definitions or 200 different ways, but none of them is completely adequate according to the linguistics and linguists. For example, here are the most important attempts at defining a sentence. The traditional and the more common sense definitions state that a sentence is a group of words that expresses a thought. This is the general definition, or sometimes we add the word complete thought. Complete thought and thought remains the same because a sentence is considered to be a thought. What does it mean? A group of words. Can't a single word describe the same thought, right? For example, if we take the phrase an egg, doesn't it express a complete thought? We think of an egg in our mind, right? The thought, but why not it's a sentence? A sentence like I closed the door because it was cold. If you take this is one sentence. I closed the door because it was cold. In apparently we say that it's a simple sentence, a complex sentence. I close the door is the main clause, and because it was cold is the subordinate clause, and it's a complete sentence, right? But doesn't it have two thoughts instead of one thought? Whereas we say that sentence expresses a thought, right? So these are, and there are many other discrepancies when we think of definitions that have been provided to us by the grammarians. Another definition is that a sentence is a group of words expressing a topic and some comments. For example, whenever we take a sentence, it has some old information and obviously it gives some new information. For example, John left. So John is the old information and left is the new information, right? The problem with the topic comments definition is that many sentences have no clear topic. For example, it's raining. So it's raining, it does not give any old information, right? So how can we apply the topics definition to these types of sentences and the sentences we just discussed? Many sentences have no clear topic and comment structure. It is raining. The word it here is so called a dummy. It is used to fill the subject slot for impersonal verbs in English. Some sentence type make no internal syntactic structure. We can't find any subject and predicate in them. For example, emotive sentence, gi, wow, done, they don't have any subject and predicate. Imperative sentence, go, leave, for etc. Elliptical sentence, who took the car? John. So it doesn't have any subject and predicate. Small talk phrases, hello, good morning, goodbye, etc. So how can we bring them under some clear-cut definitions? In polysynthetic languages, the single word serve as a complete sentence, like Arabic, like Turkish, and many other languages. Completes much more frequently. In such languages, morphology rather than syntax usually express the distinction between subject and predicate. So in these sentences, it is the suffixes that tell us that this is the noun, this is the object, this part is the verb. Structural ambiguity. Another aspect is that there are certain structures which are ambiguous, and prescriptive grammar does not help us in understanding the meaning. For example, flying plane can be dangerous. Obviously, it has two meanings. Either the planes are dangerous or the flying of the plane is dangerous. The king is eager to please and the king is easy to please. So the same structures giving us two different syntactic categories. In the first, the king is the subject, and in the second, the king is the object. So there are many other sentences. Word and phrases can be grouped according to their sentence building functions. So not all languages have the same parts of speech. Many languages have postposition rather than preposition. For example, in our own language Urdu, we have postposition, not preposition. For example, kursi par, preposition has come after, whereas on chair in English comes it preposition, it preposition. So a common assertion is that all languages have at least nouns and verb. It is true that all languages have some means of conveying information as a concept or as an event, but what a noun or verb is different from language to language. But as we have just discussed, that the concept of noun or verbs differs from language to language. In Salishan languages of Puget Sound, a single word can be translated into English as village, a village exists, or there is a village. So the whole word can describe from word to a sentence in English. In other words, morphemes denoting stationary concepts are often bound roots that require verbal affixes to stand as words. So there are certain types of morpheme that can stand as words. So the concept of sentence that we've been discussing has certain problems when we apply the concept of a thought to different languages. For a linguist, the rules should be universal. When we have one rule, it should also be applicable to other languages, or at least even in English, we should be able to have some consistency. So we need a definition of a sentence that gives us this consistency. So parts of speech, even nouns and verbs, turn out to be at best fuzzy categories across languages, not identical or even present in every language. So we cannot simply say that a sentence has a subject and a predicate, right? So the concept of this does not apply to all types of sentences in English, not to speak in other languages.